Hello. So this time last week, I attended a Sufi gathering of sorts. Saturday morning meetup with a few interested parties, a bit of meditation, a bit of this and that. After all that, we settled down for some lunch. And I did my thing. I poked, I prodded, I prompted. And in the end, I got some interesting stories out of them. In this case, they concerned the Turkish Sufi philosopher-fool folk figure Nasreddin. I got 3, in fact. And the first one goes like this. So Nasreddin's wife comes home one day and sees him stooped over in the yard. Goes up to him, asks him, "Hey, what are you doing?" So I'm searching for my ring. He says, "Well, fair enough." So she helps him look. Some time passes and nothing turns up. The place is bare. So she asks him, "Wait, are you sure it's out here? Are you sure you didn't lose it somewhere else?" He goes, "Oh yeah, no, for sure, yeah. I lost it in the living room." She says, "But if you lost it in the living room, then why are you searching for it out here?" And he says, "Well, this is where the light is. It's dark in there. I couldn't see anything. So I came out here to look instead." And the second story was pretty nice as well. A lot of them have, you can see, this sort of Marx Brothers quality. So one day, one of his neighbors pops by his house to ask for some money back that Nasreddin had borrowed. And he sees him on top of his roof, fixing a tile. So he calls up, "Hey, Nasreddin, about that 10 quid you owe me." And Nasreddin's like, "What? What's that? Sorry, I can't hear you. Could you climb on up, please?" So the guy gets on the stepladder, climbs up, says, "Yeah, so about the £10 you owe me." And Nasreddin's like, "Oh, yes, of course, the £10. Just hold on one second. Let me just... No, I don't have the right nails. So, look, can you just hold this tile for a moment? Okay. And just hold the hammer. I'll be back in a second. I'll go downstairs, I'll be back in a second." So the guy sits there, waits a while. He doesn't have anything else to do, so while he's up there, so, he starts fixing the roof. The minutes pass by, he gets really into it. Before he knows it, he's fixed the whole thing. At which point, Nasreddin, tuk, comes up the ladder. And the guy puts down the hammer and says, "Anyway, so your roof's done. But anyway, about that £10. And he says, "Oh, the money. Oh, sorry. Don't have a single cent. Totally broke, man. Can't pay you back at all. Come back again later." Super charming. But the best one was the third one. The third one I found truly profound. Really touching, really revealing, and really and truly profound. So here goes. So Nasreddin's father made his living managing a shrine of a great saint, a great mystic. So people would come, they would bring offerings, and the father would keep a part of the offerings and he would live off that. Okay. So one day at the age of 15, Nasreddin gets the itch and he says, "Father, I must leave home and search for the truth." He says, "Even if it should take me all the way to China." And Nasreddin's father says, "Well, by all means, I won't stop you." And he gifts him a donkey. And so Nasreddin rides off. And he travels far afield. He goes down to Egypt, goes to the Arabian Peninsula, Israel, Palestine, Syria, all the great centers of learning in search for spiritual understanding. And years pass, and years pass. And throughout all this time, his only constant companion in all these wanderings is that donkey his father gifted him. So eventually, after 12 years of wandering, he ends up past Afghanistan, past Persia, in Kashmir, nearing Tibet. And while he's there, on a mountain pass, his donkey dies. So he gathers stones and builds a cairn. And for days and weeks, he weeps disconsolately at the gravestone. And passerbys either see him in this state of deep mourning or off on a rock staring and with a profound look in his eyes off into the distance in the Kashmiri mountains. And eventually rumors spread, and the rumor goes that surely a saint, a prophet, a great wise man must have died. Such is the devotion of his disciple who he's left behind. And one day a rich man passes by with his caravan, and on seeing the rumored figure, snaps his fingers and ordered a shrine to be built there. And the rumor spread, and the rumor spread, until eventually the shrine attracts pilgrims, and many passerby along this trade route come and pay their respects. A few years later, who should happen to pass by but Nasreddin's father himself? And he sees Nasreddin in fine robes and says, established in a good position, and he says, "Wow, my son, look how far you've come in the world." And at this point, Nasreddin starts to feel a little bit bashful, and he says, "If I can confess something, Father, the truth is that this isn't a shrine of a great wise man or holy man or anything like that. It's just that, my donkey died and I was disconsolate, and one thing led to the next, and here we are." And at that, the father laughs and says, "That's how I got my start too." I love it.